when he jumped the gate, he came in with 2 chainsaws.
Here at Byrna, we love hearing your real-life stories about how Byrna made sure that you were prepared to defend, and we want to share those stories with the rest of Byrna Nation. On today's episode of the Byrna Breakdown, event manager Moses tells us about how he used his Byrna against a chainsaw-wielding intruder. You've got to hear the story.
I live in downtown Los Angeles. I'm a pretty small guy. I'm like 126 pounds, and I run a venue in downtown LA. This massive dude, like 300-pound, like stocky guy, uh, jumped the gate in this alleyway. And when he jumped the gate, he came in with 2 chainsaws in like the back lot of my property. Well, the reason he was out there with 2 chainsaws, by the way, is because he was trying to make some holes into a neighboring unit so he could break in and do what, I don't know what, maybe steal something, I'm not sure. So I get on my roof, and I have the green crimson laser because that's the one that you can see in the daytime. So I tell the guy, I'm like, hey, you better get out of here or I'm going to shoot you.
So here we have a guy that has not only jumped the fence to intrude onto his property, but is also wielding 2 very deadly weapons. And it's also important to note here that Moses didn't know at the time why he had chainsaws or why he was there, and didn't learn that until well after the incident.
So then when I said that, the guy got on the phone and he pretends to call the police. In downtown LA, the police don't show up. That's why I have a Byrna.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's not wrong. Throughout the U.S., the police response time to Priority 1 emergency calls is anywhere between 7 to 10 minutes in most places. But in LA, recent studies actually have shown us that response time can be upwards of 20 minutes.
He gets on the phone and he's like, hey, some guy's trying to break into my building. I need you to come down here. So then he's not leaving. And then I remembered one of the other testimonies where it was an ex-cop who was hanging out in his house. And then a drunk guy came in and he shot him in the shin. So I aimed, oh no, he shot him in the knee. So I aimed for his shin and got him right in the shin on the second try in broad daylight. And after doing so, he was just trying so hard to hold back his pain. And then he just hopped the fence and left.
All right, so let's break down Moses' response. An unknown intruder bypassed a device meant to keep people out while armed with 2 chainsaws. Rather than approaching the intruder, Moses actually created distance, giving him more time to respond, and then even warned the intruder to leave the property. And then only after he didn't leave after that warning did Moses fire his Byrna, which gained an immediate response. All things considered here, Moses did a fantastic job. In my opinion, this was an absolutely justifiable and appropriate use of the Byrna. The only thing that I may have done differently is probably aim center mass for those shots just to make sure that I got good hits on target. But clearly, Moses has been training and was able to get good hits on that second shot. And finally, I love that Moses mentions that he saw how another person used their Byrna in a real-life scenario, which in the moment helped him tailor his response to this intruder. That's exactly why we share these stories, so that everyone out there can not only learn from us, but can learn from each other on what options you have to respond to these unique events. Byrna Nation, I want to break down your stories of how you've had to use a Byrna in real life to protect yourself, even if you didn't have to fire. So send in those stories using the link below so that we can share them with all of Byrna Nation, so that we can all make sure that we're prepared to defend.